knew there was an 80% chance you'd win the lottery tomorrow, would you go buy a ticket? I'm guessing you probably would. When it comes to waste, utility, and telecom savings, the odds are in your favor. Over our 18-year history, we've been seeing that 80% of companies nationwide can save on their utility and telecom, and 90% of companies can save on their waste. Dozens of companies, a lot like yours, have already gone through our audit program and saved thousands in the process. How do we find savings? We usually find savings by finding and implementing ideal service levels, changing on-site equipment, finding credits, reviewing meter usage, and reviewing ongoing invoices. Let's take a look at each. When we conduct our waste and utility audits, we often find that companies are not receiving their ideal service levels. We're actually in the middle of an audit with one of our clients right now where we're evaluating this very thing. This particular client has over a dozen hotels in the Midwest, and we're going to determine if we should negotiate contracts with seasonal adjustment clauses. We're crunching numbers and reviewing invoice history to figure out how much usage fluctuates over an 8-month period. Do they need more service during the 3 months when they're really busy? Do they need extra equipment? We know the questions we should ask for your particular industry. This level of scrutiny is what makes our audits so effective. When we do a waste audit, we often find that by changing the kind of equipment, the company will realize substantial savings. One of our clients recently saved over $10,000 on their waste bills by doing exactly this. The client was using a 20-yard roll-off container at 2 locations. But after analyzing their cost and the waste streams, we determined that neither of those containers were actually a good fit. We knew 8-yard dumpsters would be cheaper, and we knew that they're easier to work with, and they take up less space, and they look much better. The client knew a good idea when they saw one, and of course they let us make the changes. This simple fix saved the client almost $1,000 every month. Just this past month, we partnered with a client who had signed what turned out to be a pretty decent waste service agreement. They had specified in their contract what they were not going to be charged for was a fee called a regulatory cost recovery fee. But guess what? A few months after the contract took effect, their vendor charged them for it, and it didn't stop. We found several $100s in credits, addressed the issue with the vendor, and got the client their credits in the span of about 3 weeks. Meters gauge your energy consumption and your power quality measurements. The electric company reads them to know what you should be charged each month. The more meters you have, the more likely it is that you're being incorrectly charged for them. You may be charged for meters that are no longer in use, or you may actually have too many meters on your site. We know it's not enough to find savings for you, so we make sure those savings are protected. We ensure that you are invoiced in accordance with the stipulations in your service agreement. As in the example above, sometimes service providers agree to one thing, then charge for another. Your vendors need detailed oversight. We've tailored our process for cost-conscious companies that want to find savings but who are short on time. Our risk-free audit process requires zero capital outlay and is guaranteed to be cash flow positive. In other words, we've made sure that you have nothing to lose and everything to gain.